Hey Pisces, my Pisces. Oh, my Pisces. This is your November general. It's not going to be that long because I want you guys to get the feel and get an idea as to what you can expect in November. I will be doing your 2-week readings for the first part of the month, and I will be doing your readings for the second part of the month, okay? So don't worry about that. This general is just to let you guys know what to expect. And as I shuffle the cards, I always look at the cards that connect. You're a star, baby. The sun represents the highest form of happiness. This is for my virtuous Pisces, okay? You guys already know I do not waste my precious spiritual real estate on the non-virtuous. For the non-virtuous, this reading is going to sting like a hornet's nest. But for my virtuous Pisces, that faith card just ain't going away. It ain't going away. Because you a star, baby. I'm telling you. And you got clarity of mind. A lot of you guys know what I'm getting ready to be talking about. I'm telling my son now. My son wants to get on camera. But I'm telling him, go ahead and play his thing. Okay, he wants to say hi, guys. Look.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. That's my little lover. All right. This is another one that cuts. Something has to end before something begins. I'm telling you. So, and it's the clarity of mind. It's the clarity of mind that you guys are entering into. Even you non-virtuous Pisces. You guys got clarity over what you guys were doing that was wrong. That was dead wrong. Dead ass wrong. And you do know that the tables are turning. For the virtuous, the first will come last and the last will come first. So those of you who have been coming last, I'm telling you, come November, you're going to be coming first. And for those non-virtuous Pisces who went ahead and did all that fuck shit to try to have it their way like they were at McDonald's and were all up in this, all up in their ego and didn't know anything about light work and their light side, unfortunately, you will never discover your divine femininity or your divine masculinity. However, a lot of you have just recognized your divine femininity and your divine masculinity because the breakup that you just endured, it forced you to understand your true power. It forced you to understand your divine power. That's what it did. It forced you to set boundaries, whereas before you didn't know how to set them. Because when it came to your little fake friends and stuff like that, and those little fake relationships that you were in, it forced you to say, you know what, no more. I don't care what the results are going to be, but I do know I don't want to be with you with all these lies and all this crap going on. I got better things to do. And that's what a lot of you guys realized, okay? I want you to know there's a deeper story behind all of the pain that you guys have experienced recently with the breakup, okay? Some of you walked away from people who really were not your twin flames. And some people you walked away from are your twin flames. And you're starting to notice they are not letting up. They are calling you. They are getting at you. They will not let up because that is your twin flame. But you have to work on your forgiveness. And you have to work on invoking those positive energies within you so that you can let it go, let the past go, and go ahead and move forward with this person who is offering you something really solid. And you're now probably in contemplation mode. I told you this card wouldn't go away. The Ace of Swords. A lot of you got clarity over the situation that you just ended. You are now going through the healing process associated with the breakup that you just endured. And because you got that clarity of mind, that took a whole lot of work, a whole lot of losing sleep, a whole lot of seeking, and a whole lot of saying, I'm not going to give up until I figure out what the fuck is behind all this shit. You are rewarded for that. This is the universe rewarding you for the work you put in to get that clarity of mind. You were dealing with somebody very immature who was very jealous of your relationship. And as a result, that is why a lot of you walked away from the relationship you were in. But I told you everything is in divine order. And the reason why you walked away was because the person that you were dealing with was being very gullible to this jealous energy that thought they had the upper hand. But now they know for sure they don't. Trust me. Trust me. They're full of anxiety. And they are burdened. And if you notice, this 9 is going to turn into a 10 very soon. This is already a 10. And that represents their new beginning. That immature individual who was envious of the relationship that you were in with your divine masculine or your divine feminine. It took this breakup for you to step into your divine feminine or your divine masculine and your divine power. And you're standing in your power, and you're going to stay standing in your power. And I promise you, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, did the research that you needed to do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I got to be careful with my words because that's what Spirit told me to do. Internal conflict is what you are feeling right now. Even though you have the clarity that you have, you are still internally conflicted about how you're going to deal with this, because you don't know if you're going to forgive this person or not, because you know that there was some amount of gullibility that allowed them to go ahead and be involved, with this person who was full of jealousy and envy that is like eating them alive at this point. Seriously. It is a spiritual union that you walked away from. It is a spiritual union, and you must understand that love surpasses all. Love surpasses all, no matter what it looks like right now. Maybe some of you don't understand what I'm talking about. And if you don't, my Vimeo, like I said on all of these zodiac readings, is for you to book a private reading. If your intuition is telling you to book a private reading, I recommend you do so ASAP so I can hold your spot. And Spirit is will prepare you for your reading on the date that you get it, even though I'm booked to the gills. And for those of you who feel that you want an urgent reading, I will work after hours, but that does come with the $50 urgency fee, okay? You are going to receive the justice that you deserve because of all of the heartache that you felt as a result of what happened. You know what happened. This card could mean several things, so what I'm going to do is wait for the next card. Yeah. This immature, envious person, now they got on their horse and they running. They got their track shoes on because they know damn well they're trying to run away from what it is that they tried to create that didn't come to fruition. And they know that there's going to be hell to pay for what they did. They're now walking away from love because they know that if they don't, they know they're walking away from your love, your beloved, because they know if they don't, things are going to be even worse than what they know is already coming. I told you I'm not holding back in these November readings. They feel left out in the cold, and your beloved feels left out in the cold right now, because right now you guys are on ice. You guys are like, yo, I need a minute. You need a minute. We all need a minute to let all this shit simmer down, because it boiled up to the top, like so much so to where the shit was spilling all over my oven, all over my kitchen floor, fucking up everything and all that shit. And I ain't having that in my house because I like a clean home. And that clean home is your temple. mind, body, and soul. You put a lot of work into this relationship and it felt like unrequited love, but I want to let you know that there was some energy behind that. And if you want that backdrop story, book your private readings. This is what you have to look forward to, baby. If you invoke forgiveness, if you invoke kindness, if you invoke the energies that you need to invoke, given the situation. And for some of you are not understanding this reading. Some of you are not. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what you have to look forward to in November. November. And this jealous ass person who got all in the mix in your relationship and created all the hoopla that was there, I'm telling you, this person is the Page of Pentacles. They got one little funky ass penny and think they gonna make it into 15 cents, and they don't even know how to do that. Because you went ahead and set boundaries and said, this is what I will allow and what I will not allow in my relationship. And it had to happen, because if it didn't happen, you never would have stepped into your divine masculine or your divine femininity. This card really does represent marriage. This card really does represent work that you put into a relationship. You still love this person, which is why you're not able to release. Normally, you would have been able to release any relationship that does not serve you. But for some reason, some of you are unable to release. And I'm telling you, you're unable to release. Because you're not meant to release. You're not meant to release. You're not meant to release. Your ancestors, spirit, the divine, your spirit guides, everybody, they won't let it happen. This was meant to be. This was meant to be. Even though it sounds contradictory to what I had been explaining to you before, you had to walk away in order for you to discover your feminine divinity. You had to understand your power. You had to understand who you were. You had to understand what boundaries were. You had to understand how to set those boundaries, because you didn't know how to do that before. But now you do. And now you are that divine feminine. Now you are that divine masculine. And for those of you who don't recognize your divine femininity and your divine masculinity, I recommend you book a reading so I can go ahead and give you the backdrop on this story. Now you're juggling. Now you're saying, wait a minute. She was saying this before, and now she's saying this. You know I've never lied to you before, and I'm not lying to you now. One of those pentacles is about to be dropped. That's the work that your divine masculine or feminine is doing now. That's why you guys are on ice right now, so that your divine feminine or masculine can go ahead and get rid of whatever was in their past. And everything in their past, all of those bricks from the road that they were, you know what I'm saying? It's like driving a car. And when you're driving a car, everything behind them, you know what I'm saying, just starts to disappear. Because the past is gone. And they're going into their future. And they're going into their future with you. Why? Because you never gave up. You never gave up. I showed you when I was shuffling. If those cards were meant to come back into your reading, they will. You are a star. You are starting to realize that your money's starting to pick up. You're starting to realize that, you know what I'm saying, you're starting to be in the limelight. A lot of people are starting to notice you for who you are. A lot of people are starting to realize what your value is, because you know what your value is. And now all you have to do is stay focused and self-disciplined with regards to where it is you want to go. Set a plan as to what it is that you want to manifest in this new journey, because you're in a new journey. The completion of the last journey you were in is complete. It's complete. Now you're in a new journey. You are in a new journey. And in this new journey, you must ride your ego and not let your ego ride you. You must stay in the light. And the light comes with forgiveness, love, and understanding. Because I'm telling you, there was a third party situation. However, that third party would not release what did not belong to them. And they knew it didn't belong to them. They didn't care, though. And their little tricks worked for a little while, but it ain't working anymore, is it? No. So now you have to make a decision. You pull the decision card. Are you going to let your divine masculine make you whole again? Are you going to let your divine feminine make you whole again? Because if you don't, it's a missed opportunity. It really is. So don't let that missed opportunity happen. Because if you do, you're going to let that third party who was doing what they were doing to create all of the hoopla in your relationship, you're going to let them win. Are you going to let them win, or are you going to get your wish fulfillment and their wish fulfillment? They can't live without you, and you can't live without them, which is why you can't release. Because this relationship is far beyond anything that you can understand in the carnal. Anything. It is something that is so dynamic. It is something that is so meant to be. It is something you can't release. There's no way that you'll be able to release. And for those of you who were able to release, that was not your twin flame and that was not your soulmate. Because the person who was involved was methodical. Their fertile grounds dried up a long fucking time ago. And so they had to go find somebody else to go have this codependent relationship with your other half. And commitment is on the horizon. Commitment is on the horizon because you have learned to forgive. Those of you who have learned how to forgive know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who know that there's more to this story, book your private readings. Book your private readings. That's my Vimeo. What I'm not going to do is sit here and give you guys these readings and then give you just enough and then say, oh, you got to pay for the rest of the reading. No, it's up to you to make your decision if you want to seek and find what it is that you don't understand at this point. It's up to you to rely on the light workers who do the work that we do for you to answer the questions that you're unable to grasp at this time. So if you want that information, you know what to do, and my information is in the description box, babies. Now, I'm telling you right now, Pisces, there was a lot more going on than meets the eye in this entire situation. For those of you who are still heartbroken, for those of you who are having a hard time releasing, for those of you who are having a really hard time trying to bury your head in work and all these other things to try to distract you from like the real truth of the matter. But I'm telling you right now, there's more than meets the eye in this story. And if you want to know what it is, I'm your girl, baby. And I'm telling you, book your readings. And if you're booked out like in a week or a week and a half, you know what I'm saying? That's Spirit preparing you for the message that Spirit has for you. And I'll always do my readings at 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I always want you guys to go ahead and end that cycle that was so difficult so that you can walk into your new cycle. There's a reason why I do my readings at those times. There's a reason for everything. Everything is in divine order. So go make yourself a cup of tea. Go find your favorite show to watch. Relax and know that everything is in divine order. So with that being said, all I got to say is come the winter season, you definitely won't be cold. All right, babies. I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.